Well, we're here with the infamous Dennis Woods, the godfather of wheeling.
Yeah, okay.
How's that for an intro? They were gracious enough to allow us to come into the Teraflex factory today. So Dennis agreed to
the world headquarters.
Of Teraflex, and we're going to do a walk around on this awesome Mojave. More and more Gladiators are all over the place, and so if you have one and you want to do a little bit more crawling than at the mall, Teraflex has everything you need.
Oh no. There's nothing like rolling into the mall with one of these bad boys and parking next to a bone stock.
Little flex.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a little flex. So yeah, we'll just we'll get into it. So starting at the front, I see your Teraflex bumper. Here's kind of a stubby bumper with the worn winch.
Yeah, this looks like the first iteration too, because we make these with that bracket, or the bull bar can come on and off. We make a hold on, so you can just get the bumper with and then add the loop
with or without. Okay. Does this require any type of a frame chop, or is this bolt right on?
No, just bolts up. In fact, these bad boys are tied right to the end of the frame rails, because people tow them with their motorhomes and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I've got a Teraflex rear bumper on my JK that's the same way. These slide into the frame, and all the bolting hardware is directly to the frame, so super heavy duty. So you got the Terra 60s under here.
Yeah, front and rear.
Front and rear Terra 60s.
And we do make an option where you can go 70 wide on them.
Right.
So that it just bumps it out a little bit and gives us a little more room for twisting. You know, you get these guys we'll talk about the coilovers, but they're like, yeah, I got a 20-inch coilover on mine. Well, that's nice. Too bad you can't use it because there's a body here and there's frame parts, and so there's only so much you can do without breaking out the Sawzall.
Right.
So we set these up so you can leave it in one piece and just eat every inch of travel out of these things we can get.
Yeah, especially when you start looking at bigger tires too. That wider axle, a little bit wider stance. It's a really great thing. What all Terra 60s are you guys building for? Basically every make and model Jeep.
Yeah. Oh, down the line. Yep, JKs, JL, TJs. Yeah.
And
anything up down the line, different widths, you know.
Different widths, and can people order specific gears?
Yeah. Gear ratios all the way from 410s to 538s up down the line. One thing that we do always use is the Spicer, the Super 60 gear set.
Nice.
So it sounds like, what is that? Well, you see them next to a regular gear set, and they're thicker, they're beefier. The guys that were racing just finally turned to some of those and said, you guys got to start using these, because that's all that survive when they're out rallying their Jeeps. So yeah, Super 60 gear sets, and so that you don't get that fail out there. And then we always use ARBs in them as well. We've tried a bunch of different stuff, and we finally said, okay, ARBs don't break, we'll use ARB. Yeah, you got to fight an air leak or something once in a while, but just to be able to have a selectable locker that doesn't fail,
Okay. On the coilovers, there's 3.3s. I actually have the same set, not coilovers, but I got a 3.3 on my JK, and I absolutely love them. I love the adjustability of that. So we're in Sound Hollow quite a bit, Moab as well. And dealing with, I don't have this upgrade yet. That's on my Christmas list. But, you disconnect the sway bar and pin it up here. Well,
do you understand what you're looking at on that sway bar? You know what that is?
I do, but would you tell us some more about it, Dennis?
It's the new pneumatic. It's the pneumatic. So it's all driven. So it's got a disconnect in there.
Right.
So you just punch the button from the cab and you're disconnected, away you go.
And that's air.
Air actuated.
So you've already got the air for your lockers, so might as well.
Air in your tires up or whatever, so you always have air.
So you guys basically fixed the factory, the crappy electric disconnect.
And if you've ever, it's interesting, on the sway bar, it's tied to your axle, and the idea is it wants to keep the body from moving. So if you take one of those factory ones out and just grab the arms on it, you'll go chick, because the latching mechanism is really pretty loose.
Right.
So you take that little movement there and put it out the end of that sway bar, all of a sudden it's moving 1.25 inches before it ever does anything to keep your stability there. So we tightened all that up so you've got instant, firm, no slop in it, keeps the thing stable, so it really gives you a good, solid, stable ride.
And so with this, you get the stability of it, but also when you want that axle, that wheel to drop, you can just hit the button, disconnects, and you're wheeling. You're on the trails, you're going.
And those other guys are out there with their Gerbers out there pulling pins. Yeah, no,
Their zip ties.
It's just so nice. I'm just over it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. I need to check those out.
Yeah, that's new one we just came out with. So.
And that's on everything? You can offer that with?
Yeah, JKs and JLs and JTs.
Perfect. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I will disconnect manually, and then when we're on the trail, I'll put it on soft setting. When we get back on, I'll just crank this to like a number 3 to stiffen it up, and it's almost as stiff as when I'm connected with my sway bars. Yeah. The adjustability of these shocks are awesome, and
when you say stiff, you're saying the lateral slop.
Yes,
gone, right?
Gets rid of that. Just flipping that switch to stiffness mode on here. Just flipping that switch, and you're good. You're ready to roll. And talking with guys in the industry, I mean, there's a million adjustable shocks now.
Yeah.
The Falcon shocks, from what I've read and heard and seen and my own, are when you flip that switch, you can feel the difference. Yeah. You feel the adjustability in it.
It's one of my favorite things at a show. I'll go, you ever play with these? I'll put it on one and they go, okay, put it on 3. They're all standing on it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's the real deal. It makes a change.
It actually works.
Yeah.
No, they're awesome. So tell us about the coilover. This you guys just displayed these at the Moab Eastern Jeep Safari this year, right? So tell us about those.
I was just rolling my LJ has them on it, and I was noticing that in the back, and I was like, yeah, that's why we did these. Dead quiet. Number one, just quiet. You got this. You buy a whatever, $80,000 392 or something, and then you put your coilovers on it. Every time you get in it, bong, because the spring's blowing on it. So all of that is gone. Our engineers took a lot of time to figure it out. A couple of things they did. The smooth body that's you can see out there on the reservoir is also a smooth body down here.
Okay.
And this is the slider, and that slider travels up and down that shock body. Now, normally you'll see threads on them because that's how they adjust their ride height.
Right.
And the problem with that is dirt, grime, corrosion, can't turn the things, whatever. But so we just with the smooth body, you get rid of that initial. You don't hear it dragging them down threads. The next thing is between the heavier rate and the lighter rate spring, because there's 2 distinctly different rate springs there.
Yep.
As they compress, they'll twist.
Right.
And as they twist,
that's where you get that popping.
Yeah, that's that bong. So by using a set of roller bearings between the two, just
smooth.
Dead smooth and quiet. Yeah.
But then they're also adjustable from the top down, right?
Yeah. So we have a little tool that you can just slide on there, and they just basically lift the Jeep up, and it'll hold that, and it exposes the snap ring under there. So you can literally just with a floor jack it back and change your ride height.
Yeah.
So these guys that are loading them up hard, they'll actually make that change, bump them up a little bit if they need to or whatever. But yeah, it's a really quick and clean way to set the ride height on them.
And now that it seems like 42-inch tires are the new 35s.
So bad, isn't it?
They just keep getting bigger.
And I think we're gonna see the 40s, 42s coming back down because it's so much. In fact, we just changed out the guys at Nemesis that make the flares. So he just dropped his back
down to 40s.
He's like 6'8" or something, and he's like, I was just tired of trying to get in. I'm like, yikes. Yeah. If you can't get in.
Yeah. Well, and it just changes the whole dimension and geometry of your Jeep. I really like kind of going, bigger tires, more flex, but more lower center of gravity. So when you do get sideways and up and down, you don't feel that tippy as much. So.
Yeah. Yep, good call.
Alpine IR long arm kit.
Yeah.
I'm running the same on my JK, and I went through probably 3 sets of long arms. Just kept blowing the knuckles out.
Yeah.
And I went to the Alpines, and I haven't touched them in probably 2.5 years. They just work.
And I'm not bagging on the industry because we had the same. We're all dealing with the same issues with bushings and flex joints and all that.
Yep.
And so that was one of the hurdles we were trying to get over too. And so when we finally did those, that bushing that will rotate inside of that rubber bushing, keeping it all rubber.
Yeah.
But it gets that, so you're not twisting the rubber and bending it.
Right.
You know? So it lets it. Now you're just smashing the rubber because it rotates in the center. So it's an independent rotation that IR stands for. So.
Yeah.
And the other thing it did is you got 16 of those bushings with all your control arms, and if they're all rubber, it changes the ride.
Right.
So it smooths it out.
Nice. Yeah. No, those. I'll say they're not cheap, but I've been really happy with mine because I bought them once now and I've forgotten about it. They just perform well. Okay, moving on to your wheel set here. Tell us a little bit about these beadlocks you've got. And I noticed you got 2 air stems. Is one for the clean air and then the bad air, or the hot air and the cool air? How's that work, Dennis?
I always like it. People are like, so is this an air it up? And everything? Yeah, that's we tried that, but putting a compressor inside the wheel was so hard to balance.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah, just the air down. You just crank that one to air them down, and then this is just a valve stem, just to air it back up.
Okay, just a standard air up. Okay. And you can preset that, I imagine, to 8 or 10 psi, whatever you want to run?
Yeah, anywhere down the line. It'll go as low as 8. That should be valve stems.
Okay.
But
it's protected too.
That's a huge deal.
That's a huge deal.
Mudded out.
I've snapped those off before, and that leaves you in a bad spot.
Yeah. And even trying to air them up when they're all full of garbage, it's nice. But yeah, I'm protected because I did break one of mine on just a regular valve stem one time too. But yeah, these guys, you just put an Allen wrench in there.
Okay,
And,
that's where you adjust it.
And then you just shut it off with that Allen at the pressure you want, and then you're adjusted. So from then on, you just crack that bad boy out.
You're aired down. Ready to roll.
Down, first to breakfast.
There you go. There you go.
So the other thing, these beadlocks are cool because they have the holes in here.
Yes.
Until you've had a set of beadlocks and you had the water puddle in there, you don't understand how cool that is.
That is very cool because I've had both sets, and man, that's a lot of time.
Yes.
You wash your Jeep up, you detail it, and then I would go around with rags and just stuff a rag in there to absorb the remaining water in there.
Or you could leave it overnight and it turns into a chunk of ice, and then on the way to work the next day.
Yeah. Awesome. Back, you got the Rock Slide Engineering on this. And you guys have kind of teamed up with them.
Yeah.
One of your early partners, right? You guys have been with them a long time.
I love them on mine. If I didn't have those, my wife couldn't get in my Jeep. Wife can't get in my Jeep, but I don't get to drive my Jeep. It's important.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life, something like that.
Something like that. And then we talked about the Nemesis flares on it.
Nemesis flares.
And the Nemesis, they just fit. I just love the way they just fit the body.
They're clean. And they're strong tue. I mean, these can take a hit, right?
Yeah, this is a high line when they get brought them up.
Okay,
so
even more clearance.
Yeah.
Are these aluminum? Or no, these are steel.
They
are aluminum, okay.
Yeah, those guys everything's aluminum, and they just weld them up in the house up here in Colorado. So they just
yeah, very clean. They look factory, but you've got a lot of rigidity and strength to it. In your long arm kit, we talked about it a little bit. Obviously, it's going to be custom to the to the Gladiator. And I noticed a bracket inside of there, and that just bolts up underneath. So this is basically a bolt-on kit for the long arm? Okay.
Straight up bolt-on. You're going to cut a couple of brackets to get them out of the way. Not even all of them, but then the rest of it's just a bolt-on kit. Which we did that because these hydroformed frames on these JLs and JTs are so thin and so hard, and it's a dissimilar metal. So you're welding 1/4 inch steel to this real thin.
Gotcha.
And guys can do it.
Yeah.
Good welders, but as it turns out, a lot of us aren't good welders. So I'll own that. So be able to bolt it up that's really nice.
Yeah, on my JK, that's probably my biggest complaint is my long arm. The bracket mounts to my frame, and I hang up on that all the time.
Oh yeah, that down bracket?
Yeah, even on 40s, and I mean, we cut and welded that thing for weeks to try to make it right.
You know what, it's a trade-off on the JK. Because if your arm isn't down there, or you don't want it, they drive terrible.
Right.
Because I've got guys bring it up, I'll get that up out of the way, and then it's like, oh, driving down the road, it's all squirrely.
Right.
So it's one of those trade-offs,
Because you're changing the whole geometry of that suspension. You know, with the lift, the bigger tires, trying to bring it back to that stock ride and feel. So with this bolt-on kit, super easy, super clean, and I imagine, do you have to drill the frame, or is there holes already there?
There's a couple of holes you drill.
Okay.
Most of them are all there. It's pretty cool how they did it.
Yeah.
Most of it's just a bolt up. So.
Yeah. And you've got the Falcon in the rear as well, the coilover.
Yeah.
And
we can go either way on these. You can do a hybrid kit and just use regular coils in the back, and just coilovers on the front, or the full meal deal here.
These are adjustable, same as the front, but these are the factory shock mounts, same location, correct?
They're
on the frame at least.
Well, yeah, they're different brackets because we're not trying to lift the whole Jeep on a set of shock mounts.
Right.
These are full-on brackets.
Okay.
So so they're leaning further forward. Some of that angle is where you get the magic with the droop on it. Because how do you get 16 inches of travel out of a 13-inch shock?
Yeah.
How do you do the math on that? Well, it's the angle on it and the way that shock is letting it go out and travel. So you get a lot more droop out of it by just taking a little bit of an angle to it. That's trophy trucks. You always see that.
Right.
Shocks are up on the arms.
Exactly. So this will travel really well, high speed off-road.
They're still tied to the axle, and we're not coming off the arms with like the guys with swing arms.
Right. And I see you have the rear sway as the Teraflex, a lot heavier duty and kind of tucked up. Is this relocated?
Yeah, so on the Gladiators, this sway bar link is literally, that far off the ground behind the rear tire.
Right.
They're just dragging down there. And you start getting this much travel out of it, and then you have to have this huge link. So then it's following all that to the ground. It gets to be a real mess. It gets in the way of all the travel. So our engineers just moved it up on top. Use a bar that goes across the top of the bed, and then just use the sway bar link, goes down to the axle there, and
super clean.
Got it out of the way.
Out of the way and clean. Yeah, love it.
All kinds of travel. Because that was a big travel limiter when they were doing their testing.
Right.
It was always the sway bars. You got the link, and as the sway bar drops out, it's hanging on that thing.
Yeah.
So, but you have to use a longer link, and then it doesn't do that. So, it's trying to find that what's holding this up and fixing it.
Yeah.
So that's how they get the 16 inches of travel, which nobody has. That.
Yeah, that's amazing. On a truck this big with 40s to get 16 inches of travel. I mean, I've wheeled with this truck. And I've seen the flex and what this thing can do, and for a big Gladiator, it's pretty amazing.
These, it's like when the JK first came out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a short bus. Who wants to wheel that giant thing? That's pretty gravity. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, that wheelbase is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Same thing with these. 136 inches. Are you kidding me? That's like a 1500 Ram. That's just ridiculous, huge.
Yeah.
But by the time you get some flex out of them, God, these things are pretty amazing. Off, a little height to it. It's like, these things wheel.
Yeah. So you guys dominate the Jeep industry. What do you got coming out new? You can tell us about on the Jeep side. Yeah. I know those are top of the market right now, but
that sway bar, their pneumatic sway bar is really a big one.
Okay.
We just came out with some the Nomad wheels, or even the Olympus beadlocks that have that air down. A lot of people say, God, I love that air down, but I already have wheels, and okay. So we actually made a valve stem replacement. So it goes into your valve stem, holds, still takes the TPMS sensor and everything on the back side of it. But you can just crack the thing. You just swing the outside of it, and it airs it down. It stops at the pressure you want it to stop at, so that's adjustable as well. and it just replaces your valve stem. So they're always there. So you're not stretching hoses out and hooking up lines.
Right. That's awesome. Is it the same type of billet setup like these?
Yeah, it's smaller because it's valve stem.
Just a valve
size,
stem,
so
yeah.
it has a smaller cap on it, but it's the outside of it is what turns to release it. So it doesn't have the same caps on it. It's just the same concept.
Okay. And those are available now?
Yeah. They just came out. We just got a shipment in. There's another. What they tell me, there's a couple of hundred sets are showing up here in another couple of weeks. So yeah, they're pretty much out there. We were selling them at the last show.
Perfect.
So, yeah, they were going out of there.
I'll have to get a set on order. It's not just for Jeeps anymore. They're everything off-road. Broncos, Dennis mentioned, Jeeps of course. Tacomas. I see you guys even offer the Falcons on like Ram pickup trucks, like full size.
Because we got tow rigs.
Right.
We know what it did for our Jeep.
Exactly.
What would it do for my tow rig? We got a Ram 3500 out here, and we got them for the 2500, but they made me a set because I was just dragging these across the country, and I'm hitting this, and it's like, man, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna die. What about me? I might die. So they tuned me up a set up and put them on there. Oh my gosh, so much better. No more bucking. You get those little sections every once in a while. Yeah, it's just amazing, just awesome. And they're just monotubes, bolt them on and go. They're not even adjustable.
Okay.
I love those things.
Nice. I'll have to check those out for my own tow rig. Well, Dennis, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, well, we took some time.
We took a little time. No, I get excited, man, talking Jeeps. It's like Christmas for me. So I followed you guys a long time. I got a lot of Teraflex gear on my Jeep that I've ran. And
awesome.
The stuff just works good. And you can hit the trails. And yeah, I love it. I love the Teraflex stuff.
We'll watch for you down there at Trail Hero again.
Yeah.
Here we go run some trails.
Yeah, we'll be down there. So check us out.
Okay.